Hi folks, and welcome into another edition of This Week in Pearl. I'm your host Frank Hutton, and today I'm bringing a very special guest to you, our Commissioner of Transportation, Willie Simmons. I think you're going to love this conversation. I'm looking forward to it. Can't wait to meet him on a different, professional level as well as a personal level. I think it'll be a fantastic conversation. Our very own Senator Pro Tem Dean Kirby is going to join him, bringing him in today. So don't run off, because when we come back, we will introduce you to Commissioner Simmons. We'll be right back.
Hello, I'm Mayor Wyndham, and I'm thrilled to show you the city creating its own future. Pearl is located in Rankin County, the fastest growing county in Mississippi, and there's no question why. Access to great schools, even better shopping, and unbridled beauty make Pearl a town that truly embodies its name. And with a truly exceptional team of first responders, public safety is another key component of our success. With fantastic housing opportunities from quaint suburban neighborhoods to gorgeous lakefront properties, there's a place for you here in Pearl. You can't beat the location. Right outside of Pearl is the crossroads of the South, where Interstate 20 meets Interstate 55. From here you can travel anywhere within the state or the country. Or you can choose to stay right here in Pearl or experience the small town atmosphere, community pride, and heart of the local residents.
Hi folks, welcome back into another edition of This Week in Pearl, where we're going under the dome today, and we're going to bring in our esteemed guest, who I'm very excited to have today, Commissioner Willie Simmons. Welcome in, Commissioner.
Welcome, glad to be here. Thank you all so much.
Thank you for coming and agreeing, and I want to thank our Senator Pro Tem Dean Kirby for bringing you today. We are so excited you brought him on the show.
Well, I'm honored to have Commissioner. He's been a good friend of mine for a long time.
Yes, and he's been in public service for a long time.
I
understand that the running joke was that you've always had his back, right?
That's true.
Always.
Pretty much, because I guess maybe the whole time he was in the Senate, I sat right behind him. I think he was following me, really, because I moved and then he moved.
You're exactly right.
Is that what it was?
I don't know. I just said that. I have no idea, but it always worked out that way.
Right.
Which
1993, when I first walked in the door and took my seat.
He's sitting right behind you.
I was right beside Roger Wicker.
Yep.
And
So
you were with John Horn, I think. Isn't that
And I was with John Horn.
Yeah.
Yep.
And he said to me after a few days, he said, Senator, I got your back. And he's had it.
He's had it ever since.
Had it.
Well, again, like I said, thank you for coming on today. So welcome into the show. I want our audience out there to really get to know who you are. Now, you've been born and bred in Mississippi. You've been here all your life, all 78 years. You're born in 1947. So tell us about where you were born and Mama and them.
You've done your research.
Yes, sir.
That was the year 1947.
March
20th. I tell folks, before I was born, there was no beginning of spring. March 20th, when I was born, spring started happening around March 20th, the first day of spring. So I'm excited about being born in Mississippi and growing up in Utica, which is Hinds County, and a family of 11 kids, and my parents. So 13 of us lived in a big old country house out on a farm, and my father was sharecropping at the time. We didn't own no land. So I grew up as a sharecropper's son, trying to figure out how to make things happen. And we had fun.
And you were one of 11?
One of 11.
So where are you in the hierarchy of the 11?
I'm the fourth boy and the seventh child.
Okay.
So I am fortunate to kind of be in the middle.
Sure.
So I had individuals that go ahead of me, my older brothers and sisters, to kind of break through the ceiling and my father and mother was beginning to give a little relief by the time I started getting old enough to drive and move around. So they gave me a little bit more freedom and flexibility and opportunity to drive and have access to the vehicle that we had than my older brothers and sisters. My older brothers and sisters tell me that I didn't do any work.
They had to do it.
I think they were asleep when I was working, because I tell them all the time, I worked as hard as you or harder.
Yeah, right. So that's an era of time that a lot of our younger generation, like our millennials and Gen Zers, they don't really, have no direct understanding of that, where you do, of the sharecropping era, coming out of that, the Civil War time and Reconstruction, and then living on the farms that somebody else owned. That was interesting for your parents, right? What did y'all farm?
We did cotton and corn. Corn more or less for the feed of the animal. Cotton was the money maker, so to speak, after going through working with the owner of the farm. But we also did a lot of produce.
Okay.
We grew produce not just for canning that my mama did a lot of, because she canned everything you could think of canning.
I bet.
Fruits that we would go out and pick, blackberries, peaches, pears. But she also did all of the vegetables. And she was very good at doing it. She figured out how to can sausage. So when we would kill hogs and they grind the sausage up, she would fry up sausages and put it in a jar in the oil or grease, whatever you want to call it. And man, that was some of the best sausage you want to eat.
No kidding.
After it set for a while. So Mama was a great, I'm gonna call her a great chef.
Yes.
Who was able to feed 13 folks, and regardless to how few chickens or how little she had in the cabinet, she was able to make a meal, and everybody got enough to eat. It may not have been what you wanted,
right?
Because
but you got what you needed.
You got what you needed, because we had to decide based upon your age what piece of chicken you was going to get.
Did you get the white meat or the dark meat?
You got the dark meat, and sometimes it got down to being close to the chicken feet or chicken neck.
Right, sure.
And that was, now when you look at buying a chicken, you talk about 8-piece.
Right.
The breast, the thighs, and all that.
There's a lot more to it.
But we had about 12 pieces because the
now
necks
you
and
know
the
why he worked so hard as commissioner. He was raised that way.
Yes, most definitely.
Right.
Matter of fact, when you say that, I tell folks sometimes I was trained to be a commissioner, because this property we lived on that we were sharecropping, a large portion of it was between Highway 27 and what we call a branch or a creek, and the other half of the farm was on the other side of the creek, and there was 3 families, the Frasers, the Dixon, and my family, the Simmons. And my father, along with the other 2 fathers, had the responsibility of building a little road and a bridge across that creek, so that they could move the crops that was on the other side across the creek. And they would build that bridge strong enough that the animal, the mules and the horses and the cows would feel safe walking across the bridge. So that was 3 commissioners, Mr. Frazier, Mr. Dixon, and Mr. Simmons, who was building roads and bridges
Foreshadowing.
when I was a child.
Foreshadowing.
So they was teaching me how to become a commissioner.
Right.
Yeah.
And here I am today, 3 commissioners doing the same thing they was doing on a larger scale.
On a larger scale.
Yes.
But it's also, to me, that's character building.
Most definitely.
From where from your early childhood, that's character building. You learn how to work. I made my kids work for everything. I mean, everything. Nothing in life is free. Nobody's going to give you anything but a hard time. So you have to work for everything. You get what you earn. And
Well, we had
building.
before school. My parents insisted we go to school.
Yep.
But before school, you had to feed the livestock, the horse, the hogs, the
4
cows.
or 5 in the morning,
chicken,
right.
Early morning. Get ready to go to school. When you get out of school, you go to the field and work in the field. Kind of like year round, you was doing something. You was either picking cotton, chopping cotton, or dealing with the produce, the vegetables, and growing that. And then when you no longer had the field to deal with, you was cutting wood for the fireplace, the stove, the heater. as well as building fence to make sure that the hogs wouldn't root and get out. So we work year round, and so I'm not afraid of work.
No,
You're
no,
exactly
I
right.
would think not. And then as you grew up, it was off to Delta State.
Well, down to Alcorn.
Well, Alcorn first, that's right.
Alcorn first. Went to Alcorn went to Utica Junior College, and then my junior senior year was at Alcorn. That was a joy, getting away from home
Because you didn't live there. You didn't have to live there anymore. It was
didn't have to do all that
didn't
work.
have to do all that work.
Although I had a job at Alcorn working in the cafeteria,
Okay.
but it was part time in a
Sure.
sense compared to what I was doing when I was living on the farm in Utica. So going to Alcorn was a sense of freedom for me, to include not having to work, but also I didn't have to go to church every Sunday. Although we had chapel,
Sure.
and the instructors would make you go to chapel if they knew where you were. But if they didn't know where you were, you kind of skip it
Right.
sometimes. So I had all kinds of freedom by going to Alcorn.
You felt relief there.
Most definitely.
Most definitely. And then it was off to Delta State.
Off to Delta State. Well, when I left Alcorn, went to the Delta and started teaching. When I made it to the Delta, Dean, picking cotton in Utica, the most cotton I ever picked was 247 pounds.
Wow.
And I get to the Delta, and they don't think that's any cotton. They picking 300, 350, 400 pounds a day. And then
Per person.
Per person.
Yeah.
Okay.
Cotton don't weigh much. You know.
and
It
the
takes
roll-
a
Oh,
lot
no,
of
that takes a
cotton.
lot of cotton to
Yes.
weigh 300 pounds.
The rolls was much longer.
How long a sack?
They still had the 9. We had the 9 feet sack, and they did too. Those, so a 9 foot sack could get you a good 75 to 100 pounds, depending on how you packed it into the sack. So if you could fill up in Utica 2 to 2.5 sacks a day, then you were on your way to picking over 200 pounds of cotton. And I was able to get 247 pounds one day, and thought I had won a gold medal.
And they're doing 300 in the Delta. Wow.
Now, if you were being paid for that, you didn't get paid too much for because you was only getting like 2 cents a pound and stuff. So
Is that what it
With a lot
was?
of money.
Now, I think things are relative too. I mean, obviously, because a nickel would have gotten you a soda back then, and isn't that about right?
you give me a dime, and I
Oh,
could
yeah.
buy my girlfriend and myself some crackers and
A dime,
a piece of meat,
Right.
and a pop.
a
Well,
dime
you-
for a dime.
Yes.
And you were out
Wow.
there early in the morning because the dew on the cotton made it way more.
It made it way more.
That's right.
But you also
I've done it too.
wanted to get
Not
on
to
the
that
road,
degree.
near the road where you had planted a watermelon plant,
Okay.
because during the time when you cultivating the crop, you plant watermelons along the road.
Along the road.
So that when you're picking cotton, you could get to a watermelon that still had the dew on it. The watermelon was a little cool, and you bust it open and it had a heart in it. And if you had a girlfriend 2 rows over, you could take a little piece of watermelon.
Smart.
So,
Smart you are.
it was, and you knew what those rows were.
You're right.
So you wanted to always make sure
You're picking
that
that-
you was picking that row.
Right.
Yes.
That's a pretty smart. Something I didn't think about. That's pretty cool.
You got to find a way to
Gotta-
survive wherever you are,
Wherever you are, right? So
and
you
have fun doing it.
and have fun doing it.
Yes.
Wow, that's just a time period that
Gone.
that's gone, obviously gone, and needs to be gone. But still, that's a time period in our history that you lived, and I find that very fascinating.
With my parents, they believe in work, so they believe in you respecting each other and supporting the family. They also believed in you doing things that was beneficial to you, like getting an education. So they made sure that we was going to work, and then they tried to celebrate as much as they possibly could. My mother and father, then you will appreciate this, were family planners. And I say that because, as you know about doing a crop, you need to be able to go to work in April, in May, in June, July for certain you lay by the crop. So there are 6 of us born in March. So I told my parents one day when I went back home after learning a little something in college about family planning, I said, y'all was family planning and didn't even know it. And they said, what do you mean? I said, well, in July, y'all would lay the crop by, and mama would get pregnant, and in March, she would have the baby, and in June, she was able to go to the field again, So that's family planning,
family
to be able to
planning.
work around
And you said
what
there's
was going on
6
with the
of
crop.
y'all born in March.
6 of us born in March.
So half,
Yes.
over half. Wow. Were they like the younger siblings all born in March, or was it?
They were
older?
spread out.
They were spread out. Okay.
Yeah.
But that is family planning. You're exactly right.
Yeah, but they didn't know what they was doing. They
They
were having fun after they laid the crop by.
It wasn't on purpose. They just didn't realize it.
They didn't realize
Willie, we have a lot in common in the sense that we lived in the country for a while, and my dad had a country grocery store, and we lived in the back of the grocery. When I was about 9 or 10 years old, he told me, he said, I told him, that I wanted a horse, and he said, well, you can have one. I said, really? He said, yeah, as long as you pay for it. And so I said, how am I going to do that? And he said, get a job at 9 or 10 years old. So I picked cotton one fall and raised 2 hogs. So I
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
can relate about it. And boy, was I glad when that time was over and I sold those hogs and got my horse. But I got it.
But you worked for it.
I worked for it.
That's right.
So he taught me a lot too.
I wasn't from your generation, but I raised my kids the same way.
Yeah,
Was it-
I did know that I didn't
Yeah.
want to pick cotton the rest of my life.
You learned- right,
At
right.
9 or 10 years old, I found that out.
Right. And Commissioner, you were the same way.
Same way, he's talking about hogs.
Yeah, you didn't want to pick cotton the rest of your life either.
I did not, but I had a hog in the 4-H club,
Okay.
and that was my pet. We had to wash them, keep it clean, and brought it to the fair because they used to have these exhibits. I'm not sure if they still do that, where they would have these.
The 4-H and all that.
Yes,
Yeah, I
and
think
you
they're
get a
still
rating.
there.
So I brought my hog to the fair and got a blue ribbon for my hog.
Wonderful.
So it meant that I had done some styling and taking care
Yeah.
of a hog. And then when the hog was no longer being on the show, we started talking about killing the hog. And I said, no, let's not kill this one.
What happened to him?
I think my dad ended up selling him to a neighbor, trading him,
Yeah.
so that
Yeah.
I wouldn't see him
You wouldn't
being
see him
slaughtered.
being slaughtered,
Yeah,
sure.
so,
Right.
yes.
All right, so that gets us up to Delta State and you deciding to get your master's in science. Why science?
No, that's science, but counseling and administration.
Oh, okay, okay.
2 degrees. I have a master's and a specialist from Delta State, and was also fortunate enough to be invited to be a visiting instructor at Delta State. But I didn't really know what I wanted to do. I did know I went to Delta State after I came out of the Army
Okay.
and went to Vietnam. Came from Vietnam back into the state, went to Fort Polk, and while at Fort Polk, they was having this data training, and I saw it and decided that I wanted to get into data training, and had to extend by 4 months to do that. And then after I extended it, they delayed the program, so I never did get into it. So when I came back, I didn't want to go back into teaching because I taught school at Rosedale before I went to the Army, and didn't want to go back into teaching, although I enjoyed it for the 2 years that I was there, but I wanted to do something different. So working for the post office, I decided that I wanted to go and get a master's degree in guidance and counseling, and met Dr. Runyon, who was impressed with me for some reason, and Delta State, along with the Employment Security Commission and National Alliance of Business, Mr. Red, decided that they wanted to put a program at Parchman to help offenders get jobs when they was getting out. And Parchman at the time was an institution. It wasn't the Department of Correction, but it had some financial challenges. So when they did the grant, they didn't want to put the money at Parchman. They put it in another institution, which was Delta State. And Dr. Runyon tapped me to become the director of the Job Placement Center. After I had finished my master's degree and was working on my specialist degree, he put me into that position. So during the time that I was being trained and getting my specialist degree, I started working for now the Department of Correction under Delta State had the grant, so I was really on Delta State payroll, but working at Parchment.
Wasn't it called like the prison board or something back then? Bureau
Yes.
of Prison, something like that. It wasn't Mississippi Department, right? It was prison.
Mississippi State Penitentiary.
Mississippi State Penitentiary. That's
Yes.
what it was. Mississippi State
Forgot about that.
Penitentiary.
Yeah.
That was the actual name, of it.
Well, now weren't you on the parole board at one time or something? Yeah, what was it?
I was
Deputy Commissioner.
I was nominated to be on the parole board,
Yeah.
but that never did go through. Governor Ray Mavis was going to appoint me to be on the parole board, but that never materialized. And when Leroy Blake came to be commissioner under Governor Ray Mavis, Leroy Blake tapped me to be his deputy director, so I became the deputy director.
Deputy director.
Okay,
Right.
that's what I'm thinking.
'Cause you were there. What? How many years? 17.
17 years.
17 years.
Seemed like a full career. Mm-hmm. Matter of fact, sometimes when I'm telling folks what I've done, going to the Army, spending 28 months, serving as a school teacher for 2 years, working for the post office for 2 years, and then working at Parchment for 17 years, and retiring from Department of Correction after 17 years, running for the state senate, and serving there for 26
I know,
years.
right? And now that you've had like 3 or 4 careers.
Yes,
At this point.
long term.
Long term.
Correct.
Right.
So folks look at me and say, how in the heaven did you do all of that? You know, and I said, well,
When you really went, didn't you have a restaurant?
had a restaurant also.
Wait a minute. What?
I did a restaurant for 17 years
In the Delta?
in the Delta called the Center's Place.
Okay.
The Sender's Place was a very nice restaurant there.
We had,
What
in my
year was
opinion,
this?
we started the restaurant in 2003.
Then he went to work.
Yeah, now that was work.
That's work.
It's hard work.
The Center's Place worked me harder than working on the farm. On the farm, I could get a break.
Right.
On weekends,
You're
at
right.
12 o'clock on Saturday,
Yeah.
unless we was trying to beat the rain,
Yeah.
we would take a break and go downtown and be off on Sunday. Well, the restaurant didn't give me no off days. I worked at the restaurant 7 days, so it worked me harder than being in Utica on the farm. Yeah.
Wow.
But that restaurant was very, very good for me because it was kind of therapy. It was a lot of work, but it gave me an opportunity to meet a whole lot of folks who would come to the restaurant.
Networking is incredible.
Anthony Bourdain, bless his heart, who had this great show dealing with restaurant, and he chose us to come to, and that episode ran probably 50 times.
Wow.
Yeah, so
Incredible. I didn't know that. How did I not know that? But that's what I'm talking about, telling our audience the things that we don't know. That's wonderful information. All right,
He's
so
a hard worker.
hard work. In 1992, you ran for
State Senate.
State Senate, and you served there a long time. Actually,
26
you were
years.
there 26 years until 2019, and you became, as we mentioned earlier, you were head of transportation and appropriation.
Well, 1992, ran for the Senate. He
Won.
ran against Senator Robert Crook, who had been there for like 28 years, and the citizen chose me to replace him. 1993, I met my good friend Dean Kirby, and he told me he would have my back. He said, all you need to do is just be a good senator, and I got your back. So I had to live.
I've been there a whole year.
You've been there a whole year.
I was a veteran.
He was a veteran at that point.
I had to live up to being a good senator. One of the things he did, as you indicated, I became transportation chairman of the transportation committee in 2013. I think it was when Governor Reed became the lieutenant governor, and he being a Republican, and I'm a Democrat. He saw some good in what I had done, and decided to put me as chairperson of one of the top committees in the Senate, and that being transportation. And my good friend here came to me and he said, I need to have a meeting with you. And he brought a couple folks in from, I do know Mr. Rose was one of them, and I can't
The
remember
mayor
who
of
the person
Flowood,
was.
Gary Rhodes.
Yes.
Yeah.
And they said, we want some money to do this Lakeland Drive project.
Yep.
Project in that area somewhere, and so we need $10 million. And I said,
Just $10 million.
And he just got there. Oh, we need 10 million.
I'm just walking in as chairperson.
Sure.
And I don't know where to get $10,000 from. But that's what he put on me.
Okay.
We got it.
So
You managed to get it done.
I met with Governor Reeves and say, look, we trying to figure out how to make sure we can get some money. He said, something you want to do? And I say, Dean Kirby wants to do it. I say, but in addition to that, there is a Highway 82, and we just did a groundbreaking ribbon cutting ceremony for the bypass.
Yeah.
But there's a Highway 82 up at Leland, and we need to get rid of a old Madoc that's keeping the 18-wheelers that have grown and too tall. And it's going to cost about $10 million. So we want to look at doing the $10 million for Rankin County and $10 million for Washington County. He said, something you want to do, Mr. Chairman? I said, yes, sir. He said, well, go find the money, let's do it.
And the rest is
We made it happen.
He did it.
Made it happen.
Yes, but Dean Kirby was the point person on making that happen. I just followed his lead.
No, not at all.
I think you say, is there some more to that story there, Senator? There's more to that story? Not at all.
This is the guy.
He was the driving force behind it, right?
No, but this is the guy who had my back.
Right.
So
right.
if the person who has my
you were
back
the point man.
is coming to me and saying he needs $10 million,
you're the
then
point
let's
man.
figure out.
Well, you're not going to get it if you don't ask for it.
Let's
Well,
figure out
this
how
is
to make it happen.
This
Yes.
is true. This is true. That's all right. Fantastic. Well, I know
He did a good job as chairman.
for 26 years. I mean, as you said, you've had how many careers at this point? I mean, that's the third one, fourth one. I mean, that's a few. Okay, so let's.
Well, Dean Kirby was a solid person. He was visionary. He knew he needed that, but also he did something that the folks in Rankin County ought to be proud of, and that's Highway 477, I believe it is. We call it West Rankin Parkway.
West Rankin, right?
With Dean Kirby introduced the bill to make that a state highway. So we ought to figure out some kind of way to name that highway the Dean Kirby Highway.
Actually, when I first introduced the bill, it wasn't a state highway, but we ran out of money, and I had to come back and do another bill to make it a state highway so we could get federal money to finish it.
Man, it's almost done.
On November the 25th,
news flash.
on November 25th, we're going to cut the ribbon to officially open the West Rankin Parkway.
Right over here.
We're gonna do a ribbon cutting ceremony to open the Dean Kirby.
West Rankin Parkway. Now, how long have you worked on West Rankin?
Well, actually, I introduced the bill in the year you came.
Yes.
I know this. I know
I
this
think.
answer because we've talked about
I think
it.
it was 93.
93.
I think it was.
Yeah.
But for those people that don't know where 477 or the Parkway is, it's Pearson Road. Yeah, Pearson Road Extension goes
to Treetop.
Goes to Treetops. Yeah, it's goes by Ross Furniture up there. So
it's
going to
connecting.
take a ton of traffic off Lakeland Drive.
It is.
Connecting Flowwood and Pearl much better.
Yeah.
Yep. Gives that Flowwood Pearl connector another way to get to 20.
Absolutely.
So give it up for the man who had my back, Dean Kirby,
Well, it sounds like
And
he
his
had my
vision.
back, doesn't it?
and his vision.
So, yeah.
Yeah, but and I agree. The two of y'all have worked very well together.
We have.
to get things, but it takes a team, doesn't it, Senator? It
yes.
does, and Commissioner Simmons over here has been a part of that team, a very instrumental part of that team. Because, as a matter of fact, let's go back to the flyover of the railroad crossing down here at the other end of Pearson Road that just took.
Oh, yeah.
There's another one, and then Commissioner Simmons comes on, and amazingly things have gotten done, and it's open now. You got to cut the ribbon on it.
Over
That
the
flower.
railroad track.
Yeah.
Tell them about the day you were
Well,
you accused me of something I really didn't do.
Closing out 477, a $60 million project.
Yep.
$15 million initially invested in it, and $60 million over the past couple of years. But we got Utah Construction, who was doing the project, and they actually coming in a year ahead of time. That project's supposed to be completed in 2026. We are actually going to open it up before Thanksgiving of this year. So,
Wow.
thank you,
Yeah.
Dean.
Well, let me tell you, at the ribbon cutting, I was telling him how, on that flyover, how the trains were stopping traffic.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, we actually had a fire truck and paramedics that couldn't get to someone on the other side that was dying.
Mm-hmm.
And had a house another time fire trucks couldn't get where a house was on fire because the train was blocked. So that's why it was important. But we had a ribbon cutting, and he accused me of doing something.
He scheduled a ribbon cutting at the time he knew the train was going to be coming. it made it work perfect.
Were you trying to prove a point?
The whole time we were cutting the ribbon out there,
Yeah,
the train was
the train was running. Yeah.
He knew exactly what he was doing. This is Dean Kirby.
I would never do anything like that.
No, of course not.
But it did work out.
It worked out, did it not?
The exact time.
And then
the whole time that we went through the ceremony, the train was there blocking the traffic. And they weren't there watching the ceremony. They was just doing what they normally do.
I remember it. I was there. I remember it.
Yes.
And then we had the flyover done, and now it's wonderful.
It's so nice.
It's so nice. And then when this finishes, and you said November
25th.
5th.
Get ready to come on out and be part of the ceremony. Matter of fact, we're going to do 2 ceremonies that day in Rankin County.
Okay.
We're going to do, and I'm not sure what time we're going to do each or which one, but we're going to do the West Rankin Parkway. And then when we finish that, or before we do that, we're going to go to Old Brandon Road at the airport.
Mm-hmm.
We have had a roundabout there forever, but it was one of the worst roundabouts in the state. And we are now
Burke's Folly. We called it Burke's Folly.
okay.
Wayne Burks was the commissioner. That's how long ago we did that.
Right.
Well, that one will be finished. So we're gonna do both of those ribbon cutting ceremonies on the same day.
Wonderful.
So Rankin County, get ready for Willie Simmons. We're going to be here, and I'll be with my friend.
Well,
that's fantastic.
Do you have some projects that we've done or anything?
Yeah, you got some new stuff. I wanted everybody to know. I just wanted people to know just some of the things. You were talking about that 82 bypass in Leland for $10 million. Don't forget about the $11 million for Highway 14 improvements in Sharkey County.
Yes.
And then over $1 billion earmarked from lottery proceeds for statewide road and bridge maintenance over a 10-year period. $1 billion coming from. So that's all while you were in the Senate, head of transportation. That's amazing. And of course, we all see the fruits of the labor out there in Flowood on 25. Just the explosion that's created. I can't imagine what's going to happen when the West Rankin opens up through here. It's going to be incredible. Just the amount of traffic and the business that it's going to spawn. I mean, it's incredible.
I really expect people coming that want to go 49 south, even trucks. I expect some of those to get off the interstate, go down Lakeland, take 477, go down Pearson Road, and come out
and pop out down there
on 49.
On 49 and bypass
the stack. And of course, we have a wreck or whatever on the stack, or it's closed for whatever reason. We have another way of getting
Exactly.
It's amazing the things that you've been in charge of, that you've been able to get accomplished. It's truly remarkable. All right.
Being a commissioner is a delight in serving with the other 2 commissioners. We work well together. Some folks don't understand it, don't know it, but I am the Central Mississippi Commissioner.
Right.
22 counties, 1 million citizens. And then we have the Northern District Commissioner Caldwell and the Southern District Commissioner Busman. Both of them are Republicans. I'm the Democrat. And they chose me to be the chairperson. So I'm the chairperson of the commission. And we work well together. We want to give thanks to Senator Kirby and the other legislative delegation from Rankin County, but the whole state, to include Governor Reeves and Lieutenant Governor Holzman and Speaker White, because for the first time since 1987, when they put together the 1887 highway program, which I was not there at the time, nor was Senator Kirby, but they didn't put any maintenance money into that bill. And for the first time, other than the lottery that was passed in 2018, where we get the $80 million, first $80 million, but they passed House Bill 1, and when made it to the Senate, they did what they call the Senate strike-off, and enhanced the bill tremendously, and we ended up going to get about $200 million once the 3 cents go in for the 3 years. So at 9 cents, with the indexes on it, we're going to get about $200 million a year. That on top of the lottery money, the $80 million, is putting us in a position where we can focus on maintenance as well as some capacity projects. And capacity projects like this West Rankin project that we're going to announce on the 25th. But when you look at the Central District, I say we have been very, very blessed in the Central District in that if you go over east, Highway 19 from Meridian up to Philadelphia, we have that under construction now. The last phase of it we will get done. You go to Neshoba County, we're doing a lot of work in Neshoba County with Highway 15, 16, and 19. Then you come back into the Delta. Again, we just completed and did the ribbon cutting ceremony for the 82 bypass. Highway 49, a $35 million grant that we was able to get to do it from Bentonia up to Yazoo. They're about to complete that project. Here in the Jackson metro area, we have been going. The 20 bridge, Interstate 20 bridge that we completed. We now have completed Highway 80, and it's opened up where people can come into Rankin County, coming out of Jackson. We're still working on one of the bridges, so the traffic's a little bit slow. The old Rankin Road, that project is about complete, and I'm pleased to say that the Interstate 55 over Pearl River, we opened up traffic going north and traffic going south. We're still working on that, but we are asking the contractor to work day and night so that we can announce before the fair start on October 2nd that we are opening up the Pascagoula interchange, getting back on 55 South, which is going to be a great relief for the fair. And if we're able to do that, and the Gibson and the fairgoers are going to be really happy excited. With you. Coming here into this area, Interstate 20, going to Vicksburg, the Big Bike River Bridge, we're replacing that. We're paving Interstate 20 going all the way from Clinton over to Vicksburg, and we're about to get those projects completed. Coming into Jackson, the stack, we're about to get that project completed, what we call the overfly at the stack.
I know they've been working on the bridge pilings there.
And in Rankin County, Interstate 20 from the East Rankin interchange all the way over to Scott County, we're getting ready to overlay that so you won't have rocks being thrown at you in the future. And then Highway 18, we're looking at 2 exits to get on and off of 18 going both east and west, which is going to be very beneficial, very helpful. Highway 18 in Brandon, replacing that bridge in the city of Brandon right next to the popular restaurant that they have over there. So we've done a lot of things there, but one that I'm really, really pleased with, that Senator Commissioner Hall started before I came on. Highway 49 going south.
I would just fix to ask. That's always the running joke. Is always construction on 49 South.
That project cost us a lot of money, more than what we had been originally bidded it for, because when we got into it, because of the basin under the ground, we started running into problems and we couldn't get it stabilized. We had to bring stones in. So that project ran up to almost $300 million compared to the original bid of around 200,000, pretty close to it.
Wow.
With no fault of ours or the engineer.
Right.
It was just the water level and what was going on underground. We had equipment out on that project. When the equipment would start moving, it started sinking. So we really had to fix that, and it cost us a lot of money to do that. So Highway 18 in Rankin County, a lot of work being done on it. Also, Highway 25 from Gateway going north, we're getting ready to do a project there, and we can get the utilities moved hopefully next year. And Senator Covey gonna give us a little bit more money.
Okay.
Coming out of the Senate. So
He's
we'll
agreeing to it right now.
we'll get that project going.
Yeah.
So Rankin County is in good hands. The last thing I would say about Rankin County is we just approved of $500,000 to go towards a passenger rail system that's going to eventually come out of Atlanta. But what we're focusing on is from Meridian over to near Dallas, Texas. So this passenger rail will come through Rankin County and stop at the airport as well as in Jackson. It's going to be great for this area because individuals then can come out of New York, Chicago, New Orleans, and come into Mississippi on a passenger rail. We think this is going to be great for the country and great for the citizens.
Wow, is that working in conjunction with somebody like Amtrak or something like that?
Yes. So I'm real pleased that we're doing that. You know, they just opened up one down on the Gulf Coast, and it's really being utilized. We think this corridor is called the Interstate 20 passenger rail corridor. We're excited about that.
And that's gonna have an actual stop at the airport.
The plan now is to make sure that we have a stop at the airport and in downtown Jackson.
Okay, so I guess we'd have to build a facility for that.
Yeah, that's part of the
Wow.
small investment. The $500,000 we put in, it's going to be the match, and we're matching it with Louisiana, but it's going to be a match towards the beginning of $10 million and more money. Our congressional delegation, Senator Wilkins, Senator Hyde Smith, have been very, very supportive and focused on passenger rail, and this is part of Mississippi getting a play in that process.
That's wonderful.
So, you know, like it's Central District, it's kind of where we are with the data centers. The 3 data centers, the one here that they just announced in Rankin County over at Brandon, but the other 2, one is in Madison County, AWS, and
Meridian.
Compass is in Meridian. So, you know, all the data centers are coming to the Central District where Willie Simmons is.
You know, of course, Lakeland Drive, being widened made a huge difference.
Right.
And then 49, those were the 2 major things.
Major arteries.
And it is.
You know, I don't remember a time of never not seeing construction barrels on 49 somewhere.
Yeah.
It's always been in construction since I was knee high to a grasshopper. I mean, I never can think of a time it's not had a construction closed on one side because it's built. We're building something. Yeah. And you just alluded to something a minute ago about the subsoil, and that's been there this entire time.
Oh yeah.
So it makes, and I'm just going to reach here, but would some of that be that there's always been construction because of the repair, because the subsoil has always been bad, and it was never done correctly to begin with?
We've had some issues with it on 49 as well as on I-55 and some other areas. But what we've done as a result of that is we have changed our policies where we are now looking deeper. We're going more down with our engineers to test what's beneath that. We used to go like, I think, 4 or 6 feet, but now we're going much deeper than that in order to catch some of those challenges.
I think Commissioner agree with me that a lot of these projects we're talking about in Rankin County, especially without the Lieutenant Governor Delbert Hoseman and without Josh Harkins being the finance chairman,
some of this wouldn't be getting done.
No.
Right.
It takes a team.
It does. It takes a team, and all of y'all are on it.
Yeah.
And I'm just thinking about all the projects you have going on. And of course, I'm alluding to 49 because, like I said, I remember always having. But you're talking about going deeper in the construction phase because you want to know
in the testing phase.
In the testing phase, excuse me, in the testing phase, because you want to know 12, 15, 20 feet what's down there. And
49 taught us a lot. Okay, all right, and let me just say, in addition to that big capacity projects, we also have done paving. So now when you get on 49,
right,
you have a great route until you get to the Simpson County line. And it's still, and I'm not saying they're not doing anything on the other side.
Sure.
But that's just where we stop at, the Simpson County line. And I believe it's Star. We did a roundabout on 49 that's going to help that traffic move. But Senator Kirby is correct. The leadership and the leadership you have here in Rankin County, I brag on it all the time. When I look at how the leadership here, it being the Board of Supervisors, state legislators, both the House and the Senate, working and doing what they do, and then ranking first, being kind of the facilitator, pulling everybody together, along with the U.S. senators and congressmen. It makes for a good formula for getting things done that you want done, and as a result of it, having that local leadership with Senator Kirby being where he is, and Josh being where he is, the Lieutenant Governor, you're in an ideal place for making things happen. Well, and I think that's why you see.
Are we all rowing in the same direction right now?
Well, we are, and the amazing thing is we all like each other.
Sure.
Yes.
And we're not talking about R. We're not saying R or D. That doesn't really matter.
Yeah,
we're talking about everybody's rowing in the same direction.
Trying to get things done.
Trying to get things done.
That's right.
Whether you're Republican or Democrat, we need to work together to make sure we move the state forward. It sounds like that's exactly what we're doing. I mean, we've alluded to this before, haven't we not, Senator, about that pivotal moment in 2008 when things just kind of started gelling and turning around and everybody started rowing in the same direction?
Yeah.
I don't think Kirby and Josh and I know that we are different political parties. I mean, when I say I don't think we know that,
I don't even
it
think
has
about
never,
that.
it has never come up in any thing that we have been dealing with. We have issues and concerns that the citizens have, and we work toward making those things happen, irregardless to what political party we belong to.
Correct, and I've even said on this show that the federal government could learn a little bit about how it works here in the state of Mississippi. They could take a lesson from us. And how
we could be, the commission, and what we do here in Rankin County,
yes,
we could be a role model.
Correct.
For the country on how, when you can sit down and look at the needs of a community and you put aside your political party affiliation and focus on what those needs are, we could become a role model in that because we have done it.
Yes, because clearly we've done that, because you ran against Butch Lee, Mayor Brandon. He ran against you, actually.
I like the way you said it. He did. I didn't run against him.
You didn't run against him. He ran against you, actually, in November 19, and of course you won slim, but you did win. And that's I think what goes along to the testament of what we're talking about. We don't really think party here. We want to get together and work, and party's kind of secondary.
Yeah. Really. And he and I have worked close together on things he wants for Brandon.
For Brandon, sure.
He calls me. We meet all the time. And
he's a good guy.
We have a great relationship. You know, the fact that, and we agreed on that when we was campaigning. We met, and we said, matter of fact, it was kind of funny when I heard that he was going to run, and I'm thinking about running. So I called him up and asked him if I could meet with him, and he agreed. We didn't know each other, so he came and we met, and we liked each other. And I said to him, I said, man, what you should do is continue to be the mayor and allow me to be your commissioner, and I'm going to work for you as hard as I possibly can.
Yeah.
And I said, so why don't you just not run? You know what he said to me?
What?
He said, one, it's weird that you called to have a meeting with me because I am planning on being a candidate. He said, but since you have bold enough to do what you've done, I'm going to go home and I'm going to talk to my wife and we're going to pray about it.
Right.
And then I'll let you know what I'm going to do.
Right.
Well, his prayer, it was done. I told him it was okay for him to run.
Sure.
He called me up and I said, well, you're going to waste some money, but still, you and I are going to work together.
I love that.
So we've done that.
Oh my God, you're gonna waste your money, but okay. And you were right.
Yes.
And you were right. Yeah, I've known Butch a long time. He and I go back a ways. All right, so are you having fun?
I
I'm
am.
gonna ask you about something, but are you having a good time?
I'm having a great time. As a matter of fact, all the things I told you I've done,
Yeah.
this one I like best. And I like it best because it's not as challenging. In the Senate, I love being in the Senate. Mm-hmm. Did it for 26 years, so you got to love it if you don't.
Got
26
to.
years. The only thing I've done longer has been with my wife of 53 years.
Well, that's where I was going next.
So this one, I have to work with 2 other individuals as commissioners. Mm-hmm. And then our great CEO, Brad White, who we are very fortunate to have. Brad, I would say, and I'm being biased when I say it, but I would say he is the best CEO in the state of Mississippi. Mm-hmm. Now, other folks may have a different opinion, but that's Willie Simmons' opinion.
We've had him right there. We've had him right there in that chair, and he's a good
He's
one.
a good
Yes.
one. Yeah.
So Brad and the 2,700 employees that we have, along with the contractors, and then being able to work with folks like the person who's had my back all these years, Dean Kirby, and others who we have a trust factor that's fantastic. We have a relationship that's above many and most. Being able to bring all of that together and make things happen like the projects that we have talked about. And we
Right.
talked about mostly in Rankin County.
Sure.
But there are 21 other counties. And I could sit with them and I could talk about the same kind of thing that we've been able to do. So we have been all over the district doing things that need to be done and have great support in the legislative body because we don't appropriate the money.
Right.
We allocate it, but we got to go to the legislature to get it appropriated. And the commissioners, along with Brad, and I have been able to sit with leadership like Kirby and the Lieutenant Governor Holzman and Speaker White and the
Jennifer
governor.
Branning when she
Jennifer
was,
Branning.
Jennifer, when
Yes.
she was
chairman of
chairman of transportation.
transportation.
And as a result of that, we've been able to make things happen. So I'm enjoying it.
So
I'm
you're
having
having
fun.
And
You're having a
now-
good
now
time.
Chuck Younger, who's a great guy.
Chuck Young, yes.
From Columbus. Senator
We've
Young
had
is a
we've
good
had
one.
great chairmen to work with.
That's fantastic.
Yeah,
And you're having a good time doing it.
I'm loving it.
If you love what you
Most
do,
of the time.
if you love what you do, you'll never work a day in your life, right?
Well, you know, what other commissioner can sit here and tell you that on November 25th, 2 days before Thanksgiving or a day before Thanksgiving,
Yeah.
are going to be able to bring a project in a year ahead of time,
Uh-huh.
$75 million overall,
Yeah.
West Rankin Parkway, and then leave that ceremony and go do another one where you cut in a ribbon for the roundabout to get into the airport. There's no other commissioner that can sit here and tell you that kind of thing. So I'm supposed to be having fun.
I think so.
And then just did one up in Greenville with the Highway 82 bypass, which came to a total of $216 million. So, wow. Willie Simmons.
So should we name it the Willie Simmons West Rankin Parkway?
Yeah, maybe.
No, that's going to be Dean Kirby.
How about the Kirby Simmons West Rankin?
No, this is going to be Dean Kirby.
Well, you did introduce the bill in '93.
A long time ago.
Long time ago, 1990. That's a long time. All right, so
I really do hope that the supervisors
yeah,
and or mayors and the legislators will pick up on naming that project in honor of this gentleman because he deserved it because of, one, the bill he introduced, but secondly, because of all the work that he's done and the resources that he's brought. You know,
Right.
you give me credit for doing these projects, but what I was saying, we don't appropriate the money. The money comes from the federal government and the state,
Right.
and it's folks like Dean Kirby who help us get the money.
Well,
right. Ultimately it
it
comes
takes a
out of
team.
Yeah, it takes a team, but ultimately somebody's driving that ship, and that's that man sitting right there.
Yes.
Yeah. He's very
On that
he's very humble, and we appreciate that. You're both humble gentlemen, and we appreciate that very much. But we know how things get done, and we appreciate.
Now, Josh, that's not saying anything negative about you. We love you, and we need you to continue
Well, that's why I
support us.
mentioned his name.
Yeah, Josh
is great.
Yeah, right.
And Briggs Hobson as well, which
and
we've had Briggs
and
here,
Briggs.
and
We've
Josh.
had Briggs and we've had Josh. That's right. We've had all of them.
Well, you know, Central District again. I have Kirby.
Yep.
I have the governor.
Mm-hmm.
I have the lieutenant governor. I have Briggs Hobson, and I have Josh, along with many others.
Yep.
But that's some of the key leaders
That's some of the key leaders, right?
in the Senate and in the House.
To help you get things done in Central District, right?
So
right.
We have some good folks.
Have some good people, and so you're having a good time. So let's talk a little bit about bragging about that wife and family. You've been married how long?
53 years.
53. Now, how did you meet your wife?
I met my wife when I went to Rosedale to teach school.
Okay.
Graduated from Alcorn. Went to Rosedale to teach school, and the principal interviewed me. I really didn't have plans of staying in Rosedale. I scheduled 3 interviews. Rosedale at 10 o'clock in the morning, 2 o'clock in the afternoon, Rolling Fork, not Rolling Fork, but Belzona. And then the next day at 10 o'clock in the morning, Jackson. So my plan was to go to Rosedale, leave Rosedale, go to Belzona, leave Belzona, come back to Jackson, interview, and that's the job I wanted that I planned to get.
Okay.
But when I finished interviewing at 10 o'clock in the morning, the principal said to me, your classroom is waiting down the hallway for you. So I never got out of Rosedale.
Wow.
And my wife was teaching school there, teaching biology, graduated from Tougaloo. And someone told her that there was a new teacher just had been hired, and she came down to the teachers' conference room where I was sitting and introduced herself. So I started chasing her after that.
Wow. The rest is
The rest
history.
is history. Yes.
So how many children do you have?
4 children.
Tell us about them.
Okay, 4 children
You're doing that.
who 2 of them in Mississippi, the other 2 in Atlanta, Georgia. My daughter, 3 sons and a daughter. The baby is the daughter, Sarita, and he has her back.
Okay.
She's serving in the
She
Senate.
serves in the Senate.
When I became out of the
Very
Senate
nice.
in 2019
Very nice.
and ran for the commissioner, she also decided she wanted to run for the Senate position.
Okay.
And she won the election. So she's doing real well there. So that's 4 children. But in addition to that, we have 9 grandchildren and 17 great-grands.
Oh my God.
So I'm in the business now of spoiling grandchildren and great-grands.
And great grandchildren.
That's
Yes.
great.
You have 17 great grandchildren.
Yes.
Wow. That's
We-
impressive.
We
Oh,
just came together a couple of months ago and had a lot of fun. I enjoy seeing them once or twice a year, and like I say, spoil them as much as I can.
Wow.
And
Where's
they,
home-
and they
where's-
sit around and tell me what a great granddaddy I am, but they refuse to go with me to a local store in Cleveland, and the reason being is that a couple of them several years ago went to a store with me, went to Kroger's,
Okay.
and I'm walking around in the store and everybody I meet, they want to talk.
Sure.
So we get back home, they told their grandmama, I said, Grandmama, we ain't never going to the store no more with Granddaddy. He can't get out of the store.
No,
Everybody want to talk to him.
everybody knows you.
Yes.
And they all want to ask a question or talk about something.
Exactly.
That's
So they say, okay, we'll go to the store, or you can drive us, and we'll go in.
And we'll go in. You're
But-
staying in the car.
That happened to me when
happened
my
also.
daughter was a principal.
Okay.
And she and I went with my wife to the grocery once, and she said, "You two are never going."
Right, because you know everybody knows you in the store.
Yeah.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah. And either
Yeah.
I knew him or she knew him. Yeah.
And that's part of the fun. When you say, are you having fun? Yes.
That is part of the fun. And I get just right here in Pearl, I get a little bit of that because as much stuff as I'm on TV and and people know me when I'm in the Kroger, there'll be 2 or 3 people that'll walk up and start asking me a question or something about what's going on in the city, and I don't know them, but they know me.
Yep.
And my wife says the thing, she's like, I'm not going to the store with you.
Yeah.
You're going by yourself because I don't want to be in there an hour. So I've seen him in there, and we've carried on conversation plenty. But I know how you
so,
feel.
So the wife, we got engaged before I was drafted into the Army.
Okay.
But we opted, because I was going to Vietnam, we opted not to get married until I returned. So upon returning from the Army, we were married and 4 children and all of these grands and great-grands later. But she also got involved in politics. She ran in 1987 to become the circuit clerk of Bolivar County. So we have a little family legacy, I guess you could say, with mine being in the Senate. She was the first in 87, and then I came as senator. I served on the school board in Cleveland, 1975 through 78.
I'm trying to figure out what he hasn't done. Wow. You can't keep a job, can you?
Can't keep a job.
I can't keep a job. You know? So
wow.
No, all of those were long-term deals.
Long-term.
That's amazing.
I mean, that's.
So in 87, she decided she wanted to run, and I became her campaign manager.
Okay.
And she won that seat.
Right.
And then in 92, I ran for the Senate.
Yep.
And in 2019, I ran for Transportation Commissioner. And Sarita ran for state senator.
And Sarita does a good job. She's very nice. Very nice.
So
Yeah, that was in 19, so she'll be coming up for re-election, won't she?
2027.
2 years.
2027 in 2 years. That's right.
We'll all be on the ballot. And hopefully he will.
Well, he better be.
Yes.
So you're gonna run again?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Wait, okay. Just we've already said this, but you're 78. Don't you want to retire and go play with great grandchildren and go fishing? And I mean, you've done a lot. You still want
I do, but I'm afraid if I leave, Brad White might leave. And if Brad White leaves, then
Then we're in trouble.
we're in trouble. So I gotta stay around a few more years to make sure Brad get us through this process.
Yeah, we got some projects for him yet.
Got some projects ongoing that
Yeah,
you
we
want to
got
see done.
things that he hadn't told you.
I got you.
that we're
That
working on.
are in the future.
Yes.
Well, I think it's fantastic. Thank you for coming today. I've enjoyed getting to know you, on a better level than just knowing you professionally. Thank you very much for coming in. Thank you for bringing him. Will you come back?
Honored.
Most definitely. Because I've enjoyed this. I mean, this has been a great hour or whatever time it's been.
It's
And
been that.
I've
a little
enjoyed
over it, actually.
Wow.
A little over. And didn't even have to have any water or coffee because it's just been good conversation.
It's great conversation. We enjoy that very much. I want to have you back, and then we can talk about some of those other projects. I will see you on the November 25th, right down here. When I figured you were going to tell me we were going to have 2 ribbon cuttings, one for Pearl and one for Flowood. One on each
end.
One on each end.
Well, if Mel Rose was still a mayor, I'd probably have to do that.
If Mayor Rose was still mayor, we probably would have. Gary would be like, okay, well,
Yes.
you got to come over here to Flowood.
Yeah, we had the groundbreaking on your end.
Yeah, well, the ribbon cutting on the other end. That's exactly right. That's what I was thinking. We've had Gary sitting right there too this year, so it was a lot of fun. So thank you for
Yeah,
bringing him
Gary
in.
grew up in Pearl, so he was telling us a lot of Pearl stories.
Oh yeah, he grew up right here. So it's kind of like Brandon and
Butch Lee
Flowood.
lived in Pearl. at one time.
You those two cities, they had to go get Pearl people to run those cities. So that's
Well, that's the other thing that you have here in Rankin County. I mentioned the supervisors, ranking first, as well as the legislators,
right.
but the mayors,
Yes.
they work so well together.
They do.
And while they have their individual needs and projects they do want, they have a way of supporting the big picture.
Sure.
And
They do.
it just makes it easy for us to love and like, as he indicated, each other and work to make things happen.
What's good for Brandon, Richland, Pearl? I mean, what's good for one city is good for the whole county. So.
Right. Everybody works together. I know Jake Wyndham, our mayor, has worked tirelessly with the other mayors.
He does.
In the area to try to continue to grow all of our community, together, because what affects one will affect the other, obviously. So it's very important that they work together, and I think Jake's done a great job
Yes.
of bringing that together. And of course with leadership help from you guys all that makes it. We're all rowing the canoe in the same direction. Is that right?
We are.
I mean, all the way from mayor all the way up to governor. We're all rowing in the same direction.
Well, let me thank you, and let me thank my friend who's always had my back. Thank you for having my back again, sir.
Yes, sir.
Thank you very much
Thank
for
you
being here.
here.
I appreciate it. We'll have you back soon. All right, so don't run off, because when we come back, we're going to talk about what's going on this week in Pearl. We'll be right back.
Hello, I'm Mayor Wyndham, and I'm thrilled to show you the city creating its own future. Pearl is located in Rankin County, the fastest growing county in Mississippi, and there's no question why. Access to great schools, even better shopping, and unbridled beauty make Pearl a town that truly embodies its name. And with a truly exceptional team of first responders, public safety is another key component of our success. With fantastic housing opportunities from quaint suburban neighborhoods to gorgeous lakefront properties, there's a place for you here in Pearl. You can't beat the location. Right outside of Pearl is the crossroads of the South, where Interstate 20 meets Interstate 55. From here you can travel anywhere within the state or the country. Or you can choose to stay right here in Pearl or experience the small town atmosphere, community pride, and heart of the local residents.
Hi folks, welcome back into another edition of This Week in Pearl. I'm your host Frank Hutton, and that was a great conversation with Commissioner Simmons. So enjoyed him coming by today, and thank you again to Senator Pro Temp Dean Kirby, who was bringing him in today. Enjoyed that conversation with him. It was so cool getting to know him growing up and his life is growing up on a sharecropper farm. Just things that we take for granted today, but Commissioner Simmons being able to share that in his early childhood, and then just all the amazing things that he's done. It was a fantastic conversation, and I want to thank Commissioner Simmons for taking some time out of his schedule to come by and see us today. All right, so what's going on this week in Pearl? Well, there's a lot. There's a lot happening. October 7th, I want you to mark that on your calendar. October 7th is National Night Out. Starts at 6 p.m. at the City Hall Complex right here at 2420 Old Brandon Road. It's a night where the family can go out with food activities and fun activities. There'll be food trucks where you can have prizes and things will be given away. The local police and fire department is here, and they are sponsoring this event. It costs absolutely nothing, but there's going to be like bounce houses and all kinds of things for kids to do. It's kind of like a real small, I guess you could say, community fair, but it's National Night Out. It's all over the country, but we're celebrating it right here in front of City Hall. Also, Pearl Pirate football is off this week. This is open week for them before they start region play. That was just preseason. Everything that's been going on does not count towards their record at this point. So now we move into region play, and so we're off this week, but the following week they'll be headed over to play the Meridian Wildcats in Meridian. So we'll open up on October 10th with region play. Gates open at 5:30 and kickoff is at 7. Be sure and remember you can follow that right here on PMB Sports, where we broadcast Pearl High School football to you every Friday night. Also, set your sails for Monday night to Mugshots Grill and Bar, where we host the Coaches Show from there. It films every Monday night starting at 6 p.m. Please come by there on Riverwind at the Mugshots. You can visit with coaches, the kids, players that are there. You can visit them. You can ask questions of them. But it's a great time to just mingle with our coaches and show your support for Pearl Pirate football. Again, we film that at 6. Also, on Saturday, October the 11th, put that on your calendar because Main Street Pearl is hosting the annual Oktoberfest. That's October the 11th. The Mud Monsters this year are joining in as co-sponsors, and they are welcoming us to the swamp over at Trustmark Park from 11 a.m. to 4 p.m. And then after 4 p.m., the young ones have to go home because it turns into an adult party. I know there's going to be all kinds of activities and things going on after 4. I know it's going to include a beer tasting, like over 25-something beers are going to be there. So get your tickets early. Oktoberfest, October the 11th, and get your tickets soon. You can get them online at mudmonstersbaseball.com. Trick or Treat Street coming October 25th. It's Saturday, October 25th from 6 p.m. to 7, sponsored by Main Street Pearl. That's always a huge hit, Trick or Treat Street. It'll be right out in front of City Hall, again at 2420 Old Brandon Road, and the entire street's blocked off, and there's businesses, churches, and all kind of organizations that set up so the kids can trick or treat right in front of City Hall. It's a hoot, it's a lot of fun, and it's a lot of candy that's given out to the kids. It's nice, it's safe, it's great for the kids to mingle, and it's good for parents too, because it gives the kids an opportunity to have fun, dress up at who they want to dress up, whether little goblins they want to be or superheroes that they might like at the time, whatever they want to dress up as, and then they get to trick or treat in a safe environment. It's fantastic. That starts at 6 p.m. Anyway, thank you for joining us this week. I hope you all have a fantastic week. Looking forward to it. And until next time, have a good week.